Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Makeshift Marblympics. Today's event is a controversial one, it's archery. On the one hand, this event does have a lot of drawbacks, but on the other hand it has just as many good points. So on balance we thought we'd go with it again this year, but we are bringing it to you with a slightly different format. Unfortunately, all the lovely Play-Doh we used last year to make our target after a whole year of being played with by Felix is now one giant grey blob, which of course makes the scoring a little bit tricky. So instead we've makeshifted this new target, as you can see. You can also see how the table stands coming into this event. You've also seen the running order for this event. Now it's time to also see the event itself. Each team will take it in turns to shoot 4 marbles all in one shot. Each marble will score points depending on which part of the target they hit, with 10 points for the gold and bullseye in the middle, 9 points for the yellow ring around that, and then 8 through to 1 as they get further away. The 4 scores are then added together. So Canada, for example, had 9, 7 and 2 8s, giving them a total score of 32. Indonesia are up next and they get a bullseye. They only managed reds with their other 3 though, so they only managed to match Canada's score of 32. It's safe to say we have a benchmark set. 32 is the score to beat, and there's only one team that can do that now. Of course there are 13 other teams who can do it later, but right now that one team is the Netherlands. And that is exactly what they do. They beat that score by just 1 point, giving them a total of 33, as well as the provisional lead. And there's only one team that can beat them now, and that's Poland, but they've decided not to. Straight 7s across the board gives them a total of just 28. It's nowhere near enough to take the lead, but it does put them into the top 4 so far. You have to say there is a fantastic atmosphere here in front of this raucous crowd. But of course we do need to be careful because dinosaurs are notoriously naughty. Don't worry too much though, as we have got Felix and his security team patrolling the crowd. We certainly don't want to see a repeat of what happened in the qualifiers with that poor Uzbekistan marble. May he roll in peace. Speaking of poor marbles, that was really poor from Congo. With one of their shots scoring just 2, they hit the bottom of the pile with a total score of 23. And there's only one team that can score less than that now, but they haven't managed it. In fact, they've scored more than them. Tanzania joined the 32 club alongside Indonesia and Canada. USA won a bronze medal in the archery last year. They won the qualifying round for the Marblympics and they reached the final in the first event. They're in fantastic form and they've continued that here. They don't quite manage the bullseye, but 3 in the yellow gives them a 35 overall and they storm into a comfortable lead. Here come the reigning champions, Finland. It's a fairly solid effort but nothing extraordinary. In fact, they don't even make it into the 32 club. Instead, they make up their own rival gang, the 31 club. It will be interesting to see how this rivalry unfolds, with just Finland holding the fort for the 31ers, taking on the likes of Tanzania, Indonesia and Canada, the original 32ers. Greece get the second half underway with the USA still leading the way with 35 points. Greece won't be troubling that though with an absolute clanger that ends up scoring them just 1 point. They did actually get a bullseye by contrast, as well as a 9, so they were on track to do well, but just that one stray shot puts them out of contention for any points. New Zealand were the first winners of these games, but they weren't able to convert it into big points, and they've not managed any big points here either. They've shanked their shots off to the right, and scored around the 3s and 4s. In fact, they did get a bullseye, but it'll count for nothing, as they wind up bottom of the pile with just 20 points overall. What do Uzbekistan have to offer? They've spread out a bit. That's a very strange approach. Either that or they're just rubbish at archery. A mere 29 points for last year's Summer Games winner. Now it's time for a quick word from our sponsors. Swift. Germany up next and they look rigid coming through this arrow. One's gone slightly astray but the rest are straight as you like. A bullseye, 2 9s and an 8 for a chaser. That's the best score yet. 36 takes them into the lead by just 1 point over USA. That sets the crowd wild and that naughty T-Rex is up to his old tricks, but Felix is on the case. Pow! What a shot! Oh, he makes me so proud. Back to the action and it's Vietnam, another very good setup. They kept it pretty tight together but just pulled it slightly to the left. Gives them a disappointing score of just 28. I must say that feels a bit harsher than it looked. Look at Cameroon, resplendent in their shimmering gold. Is that a sign of things to come? No, they hit pretty much everything apart from the gold. A black, 2 blues and a red, that'll see them resplendent in a sort of mauve or even a deep violet. Just a couple more left, starting with Colombia, who are in great shape. That shape of course being a line, which is exactly what you want for archery. But it all fell apart in the end, and what was looking like 3 certain yellows has turned into a really poor score that won't trouble Germany, who still lead. and this time there really is only one team that can beat them now. That team is Brazil, and they're all at 6s and 7s as they come out of the arrow, and that means that they're all at 7s and 8s going into the target. So that score of 29 doesn't trouble Germany, who win the gold medal. Congratulations. Kudos also to USA and Netherlands, who get 2nd and 3rd respectively. Then it's the 32 gang on joint 4th, with the 31 gang in 7th. And I must say, I'm really disappointed that storyline didn't really take off. I could have sworn that's the way this event was going. So those are the points won by our archers today, and this is how it affects the overall scores so far after just 2 events. Germany take the lead, having won some precious metal in both events. Netherlands in 2nd with 2 slightly less precious metals, and there are just 4 teams who are yet to score any points so far. Join us next time to see if they can manage it in our 3rd event, rock climbing. Be there or be a square loser. Cheerio guys, bye!